Well, hello and welcome everyone to Porsche Cup Challenge. We got our Porsche Cup Challenge race at Nurburgring, this short sprint trek. Um, who knew there was a roller coaster on the side of the track? I didn't know that. I don't know if that's real or not, or but that's pretty cool. Uh, anyways, right now you're just watching our 15-minute open qualifying. After our 15-minute open qualifying, we'll be able to see our grid and see where everyone's going to be starting. It looks like a few guys from last week and so on were scared off by the Watkins Glen race, and definitely the chicane on this track is a hell of a it's a hell of a turn, I gotta say. Um, so yeah, the roller coaster was built years ago and nobody is allowed to use it, so it's just there for show. Is that it? Is that how it goes? That's hilarious. I didn't know that. I mean, I live in North America, so yeah, I wish I could go there one day. One day I will, you know. But anyway, so we've got just a few more laps to go, about 40 seconds to go in our open qualifying, and then we'll be able to begin our race. Yeah, this track is definitely tough. Call me Scooby. Yeah, it's definitely a tough track. Um, it's moving, I would say this is moving away from the tracks that we had for many weeks, where they're easier to learn, shorter layouts. This is still the shorter layout um, over the full GP version, but this is starting to lean back into a skill track. And next season is going to be a lot of skill tracks. So here we go. Our qualifying is done. Let's get our results of that. Here's our grid. We got Jurgen Frank. Congratulations for that amazing pole position lap. Philip Hammer in P2. Benza Cypher in P3. Ariel Julian was our race winner on Thursday and is in P4 for our Euro Global. And this very much is a global open to anyone race. You could be from anywhere in the world. Uh, Being on a Sunday, it should be able to work for you if you really want to make it work. We got Gordon Ramsay in P5, Thorsten Seifert P6, Misha Berger in P7, Chuck Baker in P8, Alexander Wilford in P9. So we're starting to, I'm going to bring it down to our cars. Want to see the cars? Not exactly. The space view, the sky's not as interesting, is it? So we'll just set up everything for our race. What's the weather? We got 39 Celsius track temperature, so it's burning burning lava hot, real hot on that track. So I'm really curious to see how the drivers are able to manage all of that. Uh, Taking a look at these beautiful cars. Porsche is absolutely wonderful. Got just taking a quick look at what everyone's paint schemes are. I like that. That's pretty cool. Nice and simple. That's it. There we go. Okay, perfect. I like, let's go with this view. And of course, we want to see what's happening up at that front. Yeah, a lot of people don't like the layout. I think it's that chicane. Well, look like everyone's now gridding. The lights are on. Lights are out, and away we go. And here we go, heading into turn one. It looks like Jurgen Frank is ahead. Philip Hammer's directly behind. Gordon Ramsay's trying to be as aggressive as possible up the inside. Ariel is now, I think, one position down. These guys are starting to slot into that perfect train. Gordon Ramsay is up two positions. Wow. Very good start for Gordon Ramsay. We got Bensa Cypher down two positions. I know that Bensa's got a bit of a disadvantage with not having the double clutch start, so that's going to hurt him a little bit. But with his driving, I know he can. He can hopefully make up uh, the lost positions. We'll have to see and follow along with that story as it unfolds. Here we go, heading down the back straight. This is our first time coming around into the possibly a good passing zone, possibly not. Let's see what these drivers make of it. Are they going to try and push their luck, or are they going to hold out and wait for turn one, which ultimately I feel is a better, much better passing zone. Um, all these guys are pretty close together. Oh, and there goes Chuck Baker spinning in the background. That's maybe not um, a little bit of an unfortunate self-inflicted injury. I don't think he was hit. I think he just went off. And yeah, here we go. We got Benza Zeifer going up the inside, trying to gain one position back up on Ariel. Oh, and he cooks it, overcooks it into the braking zone, and now he's down. And that is beautiful, beautiful racing from Ariel. Great try from Benza. It's just unfortunate, but now he's going side by side with Thorsten Seifert. And Misha Berger directly behind, willing to take another position if he can. This is absolutely wonderful, wonderful battling. Got to see Misha poking his nose, thinking about it. He's wanting to make one position forward from where he started. And that's a wild paint scheme. My eyes get lost on this car every single time I see it of Misha Berger's car. I just I don't even know where to begin or even what to look at. It's just wild paint job. Here we go, coming down that back straight. It looks like up at the front, Jurgen Frank has started to slightly break away from our current season leader in points of Philip Hammer. Directly behind that is Gordon Ramsay. Ariel Julian coming around. All these cars are still somewhat in contact with each other. Slight draft. Um, and of course, this is where our excitement lays right here with this four-car battle for the fourth spot. And I'm curious to see if Alexander Wilfert can make his way up to this pack and start making this a five-car battle. So we're going to have to follow along with that, that's for sure. Philip Hammer is still definitely within striking range of the Mr. Frank. Let's call him the Frank Sausages. No, I'm not going to do that. Jurgen Frank. I'll call him by his name. But definitely still within that striking range. He's within that draft. I think Gordon may be a little bit behind, a little bit too far behind, but at least we're going to have our feature race of 30 minutes. This 15-minute sprint race just sets our grid for the big 30-minute race for the double of the points. Here we go, going down that back straight. It looks like no one's close enough to make a pass. But this is an excellent opportunity to close some gaps, use that draft, and get even closer for that straight on to heading down to turn one. This is actually really exciting. Everyone's having a hell of a drive. It looks like Thorsten Seifert has got a slowdown, unfortunately, and is going to have to let Misha Berger through. And back right up here, we got battle for P3 with Benza and Misha not far behind. I really do expect all of these cars to close that gap and come together in just a matter of a few laps. We've seen it race after race where these guys just all seem to find each other, and it becomes quite a wild party out there, corner to corner. Oh no, and there goes Seifert. Seifert's had a little bit of a spin. That's really unfortunate. So that's going to put him down a little bit. And that's put Alexander Wilfert ahead, I think, 2 positions now, just by being the steady Eddie of our Sunday league. I know Alexander Wilfert is pretty damn fast driver in the Skippy, the Skip Barber cars. I've seen it myself. And so one day I'm sure that he's going to be right up at the very front of our pack here in the Porsche Cup car. Give it some time, and I'm sure he'll be right there. But I know speaking from experience, going from a car like the Skippy into something like this, it's not easy. It's definitely not easy, having done it myself. It's a long process to get up to speed and learn how to get this car going fast and then start thinking about racing something. It's just it's quite a challenge. That's what I love about these Porsche Cup cars. It's so satisfying when you get it right. And we offer that league experience where you don't tank your I rating, because our I rating doesn't count here, but you definitely do get to win the bragging rights when you start winning race after race or win the season. And that's what we're here for. It's also a lot of fun to race with people week after week, the same people. And right up here, we got Gordon Ramsay with Ariel, Julian, and Benson Cipher. They have, in fact, closed that gap. Misha Berger's just a little bit further behind. He's probably going to he's going to have to start preying on their battles, slowing them down, and allowing him to catch them. Uh, Whether that happens or not, I guess we're going to have to see. Can't tell the future. No flux capacitor quite yet, but definitely going to start heating up soon. They got 7.5 minutes left of this race to set where they're going to start in our 30-minute feature. Here we go. I don't think Ariel's quite close enough, but Benson might be thinking about making a pass up the inside. Maybe, maybe not. But Ariel had an excellent launch out of that last corner. Real great drive down that straight, so I don't think it's going to be possible. Maybe we're going to see an over-under. Oh, not quite. Very, very close to it. But these two cars are definitely really, really close to each other. How close? That close. Right there. You can see under braking, Vence is closing that gap. Getting real close to Ariel's bumper. Really adding that pressure to Ariel. Not giving him any breathing room. Let's see. Are we going to get the pass here? I don't think so. But Ariel throwing that defensive line. Vence is just going to chill out, relax, and probably just wait a little bit. Let's see. Does he go on the... Oh, and here he goes. Oh, he's going to wait. Oh, he did. He did go for the inside. Well, never try and predict what's going to happen. I guess just call out what's happening. And here we go with Ariel, Julian, and Bensa Cipher heading down towards turn one, too wide. Who's going to get the over-under, the under-over? I don't even know. Let's see. Benz blocks off the over-under and plays a perfect defensive game, not letting Ariel gain that position back. And he's now one position up, one position closer to where he started after losing 2 on that start of the race start. We're going to have to see if Bensa can make up that time back to Gordon and gain one more spot just to be where he started in this race. Ariel Julian down 1 spot. And being our race winner from Thursday, he knows how to drive. He knows how to drive fast, and he knows how to race. So I can't wait to see how that goes. We got Thorsten, Seifert, and Chuck Baker going too wide. It looks like Thorsten making that pass nice and clean. And Chuck Baker just tucking in right behind. Oh, and we got... Uh-oh. Something happened. I'm going to have to go back on a replay for that one. And Misha Berger's made one more position. Let's just take a real quick look. Oh, and he taps the grass, and these two drivers got lucky. By some ways, got horseshoes up in their under their seat. up in that car of Pensa Cypher. He's got a rabbit's foot, horseshoe, whatever you want to call it that. But that is great, great awareness from Mr. Cypher. And that's given him a lot of breathing room and given Misha Berger one more position forward. Misha Berger now up two. We're going to bring up our biggest shakers and movers of our evening in our sprint race. So you can see it on our timing tower. Gordon up two, Bensa down one, Misha up two, Alexander Wilford up two, and the rest down one or two. Back to our interval. We have 3.5 minutes left in our race. Um, we've got 3.5 minutes left in our race. It looks like most of our drivers have, in fact, spread out. We've got Jurgen Frank way up in the front. Well, not too far. We've got Philip Hammer trying his best to hold on and not let Jurgen get too far ahead. Both coming around the straight at around the same time. And Gordon Ramsay, followed by Bensa Cypher. We got Misha Berger, Ariel Julian. And here we come with Alexander Wilford. Thorsten Seifert down 2 positions, probably going to try and make it up in that feature race. I know he will, and it's going to be quite an interesting race start. All these drivers, very, very capable drivers. I wouldn't count any of them out for a good run going up a few positions, down a few positions. Anything can happen with all of these guys. This is Jurgen Frank's first race with us. I'm very happy to see that he's joined us. Very fast, very capable driver, clearly, if he's pulling away from the hammer. And so I can't wait to see, especially next season, how this goes. Right now, we're deciding if we do our reverse get grids and how many cars we reverse. I'm pretty sure we'll be doing the reverse grids. I'm leaning into that, and I'd love to do a reverse grid of maybe 6 cars, 8 cars. We're gonna have to see, crunch some numbers, think up some different scenarios of what works, what doesn't, and just go with it. Uh, but that's going to definitely add a lot of spice into our races next season to have a reverse grid from our sprint race into our feature. Bring everyone closer together, and it's going to challenge all of our drivers, um, especially at the front. See who's got the racecraft matched with the pace, not just can you drive fast and walk away. So that's going to be a real interesting season to see who comes out on top of that. Let's see where Gordon is. It looks like Gordon just coming around onto the back straight. And let's see how Gordon is doing compared to Benson. We don't have a lot of time left. And I don't think Benson's going to catch him quite yet. We're going to be doing 11 laps, it looks like, with these drivers. We got 15 minutes. Yeah, Benson's Gordon, similar-ish times. Let's see who gets the best Sector 3. Just following along with these two. And Misha Berger and Ariel, of course, not that far behind. All of these drivers very close to each other. Just a little bit of a mistake from one driver, and he's lost a lot of spots. Oh no, and there goes Bensa, the unfortunate spin. Just as I was saying, just in that exact moment, one mistake, and he's down 2 more positions, bringing Misha up a total of 3 spots in our sprint race. I'm gonna just have to hide that. But now, of course, that minor damage that Misha has on his front bumper, it may slow him down quite a bit. And gonna definitely put him in a pretty interesting situation here with Ariel Julian. That's for sure. Coming down that back straight, heading to the chicane, we've got um, I don't think he's going to make the pass, so I'm going to head up to our leader of the race, Jurgen Frank, who is not too far from Philip Hammer. Not sure what happened there, but Philip Hammer did close the gap just a little bit. Congratulations, Jurgen Frank, for winning the sprint race. Good job for Philip for not staying too far behind from such a capable driver. Of course, Philip, a very capable driver himself. Gordon not far behind, being third, going to be gritting third. Misha Berger able to hold on to fourth. Coming in, oh, there's Bensis smoking those tires and under braking. Alexander Wilfert coming across it, gained 2 positions. Thorsten Seifert have to start thinking about forgetting this race. Just look forward to that feature, and I'm sure he will. He's a tough customer. He's he's very good at that. So let's pull up our results here. And of course, these results are the grid for our feature. So we're going to have Jurgen Frank, Philip Hammer, Gordon Ramsay, Misha Berger, Ariel Julian, Bensa Cipher, Alexander Wilfert, Thorsten Seifert, and Chuck Baker. Right now, it's just a quickie short commercial break. Not really a commercial break, but we'll call it a commercial break. Just to give the drivers a little bit of time to go get some water, go to the washroom, whatever it is. Force me to talk a little bit more as if that wasn't hard enough for me, or maybe, I don't know. But yeah, so once this little, I think it's 1 minute break is done, we're gonna head into the gridding for our 30-minute feature race. And I gotta say, I'm pretty excited. I want to see who makes up what position where, and yeah, I can't wait. Here we go. It looks like, yeah, we got our first car, first taker onto the grid. Thorsten, another eager beaver. We got Alexander Wilford, and the real eager beaver up front of Jurgen Frank. Just gonna wait for the rest of them to grid, and then we'll be all set. The Hammer has competition. Does he ever? I'm gonna just sit and let you guys listen to that motor. You hear that? That's lovely. Absolutely lovely. And this is absolutely wild. Wow, what a race start that we've got. A lot of chaos, a little bit of a missed start from Jurgen Frank, allowing the Hammer to get way up in the lead and start thinking about breaking away. Gordon Ramsay is up into second position. Misha Berger is in fourth. And these cars are duking it out. This is absolutely wild. I can't believe that just happened. So now this is going to make a hell of an interesting race. I'm not even, oh, and Gordon goes off, and that's not going to be good for Gordon and his season points. He's very close to, I think it's third position, in a battle with Misha Berger, who is still out in that race in third spot. So that's going to help Misha Berger a lot in our season. It's definitely a challenging corner too, I gotta say. That elevation change in the braking zone is not easy to deal with. I can totally understand and feel for him of why he did that. And we caught it on camera. Even worse, right? Here we go, coming around after our very first lap. And we have some chaos going on. Does Ariel go for the inside? And he does. He makes that desperate dive for the inside, but he cooks it under braking and is down a lot of positions. Um, lovely, lovely racing. Good try, Ariel, but not quite. And that's taken a lot of stress off of the shoulders of Misha Berger, but only momentarily because he's now got Benza Cypher even closer. And these guys here are Benza Cypher is second in our standings with Misha Berger in fourth. Misha looking to make a pass on Gordon Ramsay in the season standings. So every position is going to matter for him. Oh no, it looks like Alexander Wilford has gone off the track. I want to see real quick just what happened. I think it's the same thing. Yeah. Just the unfortunate events of breaking um, breaking in that elevation change. And here we got Jurgen Frank has actually made up those spots and is on the tail of the hammer. Phil throwing that defensive line, wanting him to go around the outside. Let's see, are we going to see the over under or and does he block off? Oh, he blocks off that exit, not letting Jurgen go round, do the over under or anything. Phillips playing a perfect defensive game, but oh, and a slight love tap. Jurgen backing out just to make sure that he gives a little bit of respect, I'm sure, to not take a position by bumping the guy. But this is a hell of a battle. We finally have a solution for the hammer, and it's called Jurgen Frank. Jurgen Frank is the closest he's been. Are we going to see a two wide through our chicane? If there's any two drivers that are going to do it, it's these two right here. Are they going to force this situation? Let's see. Philip throwing the defensive line. Jurgen Frank is poking his nose, trying to scare him, psych him out, get him nervous. That's for sure. Here we go, heading on to that main straight. It looks like Jurgen Frank's closing that gap. He got an excellent launch out of the corner. Is it going to be enough? Nice draft coming down this straight. Philip throwing the defensive line early. And Jurgen Frank not quite able to make that work to get up alongside Philip. This is one intense battle. We have a few passes that happened that I haven't covered yet, but definitely I will, don't worry. But I can't take my eyes off of these two cars. Philip getting a little bit sideways coming out of that corner. That may hurt him heading towards here, but throwing the defensive line. Forcing Jurgen to try and go around the outside, and that's just not possible around that corner with that elevation change. Beautiful battling and defensive work. We have a natural Fernando Alonso on our hands here in the hammer. And not far back, we've got Benza Cypher with Misha Berger and Thorsten Seifert looking to battle it out as well. Is Jurgen going to push the issues? Oh man, he's going even further inside, diving on the braking zone. And here we go. We saw our first pass all night in that chicane. Jurgen Frank has completed our first pass in the braking zone successfully. Nobody crashed out. No slowdowns, it looks like. That was absolutely beautiful. Well, I want to follow along with this. Let's see if the hammer can keep up. And of course, we'll have to go back to that because the battle between Bensa Cypher, Misha Berger, and Thorsten Cypher is heating up. These cars are all closer than they've ever been. If we take a look at Gearbox, the gearbox of Mr. Cypher. So I want to take a quick look. Bensa passed Misha. Everyone passed him. I think I missed a few passes. I want to see what happened here. Oh, you know what? Okay, I take it back. Jurgen Frank was the second successful pass going into the chicane. Here was the first one right here with Bensa. And then we got Ariel making a pass on Chuck Baker, taking the inside, shorter distance, and Chuck Baker forced to take that outside, much slower line. And there's a pass from, oh, I see what happened. It's just a little bit of blinking. Let's go back live. He's away. Can you go? I can't. I can't. I can't. Just what's happening? I can't eat it. I can't. I can't. Okay, we've got Jurgen Frank. We're following along with Jurgen Frank, Ben Cypher. How did Misha Berger get way, way back? Fortunately, Misha Berger still got a little buddy to race with of Thorsten Seifert. I want to see, how did Gordon Ramsay make a pass on Chuck? Heading down the back straight. Chuck just choosing to let him go and tuck in behind, and there we go. So we've got Philip the Hammer is still within tow of Jurgen Frank. He's not able to quite get away from him. So I'm pretty hopeful that by the end of the race they'll still be together. Let's see. The draft definitely helps quite a bit. There's not a lot of aero wash on these cars. That's what's so beautiful about it. And here we go with Benson Cypher, who has broken away from the Burgermeister. Just a little bit out of that draft range, gotten a little bit of pressure off of his shoulders, out of his back, and it's given him a great spot within this race. We got Misha Berger with Thorsten Seifert putting in the pressure on the Burgermeister. Of course, we've got Ariel Julian directly behind, so a lot of battling from those two ahead of him is going to bring Ariel into that mix. Let's bring up real quick the biggest movers and shakers of this race, of our feature race. We got Bensa Cypher up 3 positions. That is incredible. Thorsten Seifert up 3 positions. I totally called that one. That's definitely Thorsten's style. It loves that. The feature race getting up all those spots. Very, very capable driver as always. Our Thursday race winner of Ariel Julian, uh, having a much higher level of challenge for him in this race. I'm sure he's absolutely loving that. Gordon Ramsay is still very much in the race and driving, not giving up quite yet, seeing if he can gain some spots back. We're going to have to see how that goes. Chuck Baker up 1 position from where he started. Alexander Wilford, after going off, is unfortunately quite far behind, but not giving up, and that's what we love to see around here. It's definitely a hard car, especially coming from the Skippy, and there we go, a little bit of a lockup. Um, but you know what? You gotta keep with it, and eventually things just start to click. So we've got the hammers in tow of Jurgen Frank. Let's see how much he can gain at the end of this straight. It looks like the straight's good for about a tenth or two, maybe. If, of course, if the guy ahead gets an even better run out of that last corner down the straight, it's definitely not going to help too much. Not far behind is Ben's Cypher, and it looks like he's created a bit larger of a gap than when than earlier when we were following him to Misha Berger. Misha Berger's still got one tough customer on his bumper. And he's got to work real hard to build that gap and lose that draft. It's definitely a hard spot to be in. A lot of pressure. A lot of pressure. Any lockups with your tires under braking is going to be, it's a lot of work to slow down your pace just a tiny bit to cool off those tires. But it definitely helps when you can do that. When you got a guy directly behind you, it's not as easy to do. Pretty sure Ariel Julian is catching them. Let's take a look at sectors. We're gonna go. Yeah, it looks like Ariel Julian may be able to catch them. We're gonna follow along with this. Coming across that last straight onto our start finish line, completing the sector. It looks like they are very, very similar lap times. It may be just a difference of who makes more mistakes or less mistakes. For if they can meet up one more time within this race or not. Looks like Bensa Zeifer is still going faster than the Burger, just a little bit, creating a gap between the two. It almost makes me wonder if Mr. Zeifer is going to catch up to the Hammer at the pace that he's going. Absolutely amazing drive from him. Austrian driver of Ben Zeifer. Actually, Benza is from Hungary, lives in Austria, and that is what gives him the Austria-German-Swiss flag. And here we go, coming around that last corner now. And it looks like Thorsten is just slightly slower than Misha. Just enough to, just a tenth here and there. Definitely, definitely hurts over time. We got here Ariel Julian is pretty similar lap times to Thorsten. Of course, we've got 15 minutes left in that race. There's a lot of time left to gain time, to lose time, to make a mistake. There's a lot of corners that they still have to complete within that time. Absolutely anything can happen. Just as we saw earlier, we had Jurgen Frank. Oh, and there's locking of a tire from Thorsten Cypher, and that's going to bring Ariel Julian a lot closer to him, and especially the heat added into Thorsten Cypher's tires are not going to help him in that long run. With 14 minutes left in this race, uh, it's definitely a painful, painful experience to lock a tire. It's in that same braking zone that we've seen these drivers struggle with all night long. That elevation change under braking, It's a pain in the ass, just saying it straight. It's totally a pain in the ass. And we're seeing it for so many of these drivers, what it's doing to them. And coming around that start finish straight, completing one more lap, now on to lap 12. Looks like Ariel may have lost out on that final sector and lost all of those gains that he had. Oh, it looks like something happened to Misha Berger. He may have had to serve a slowdown, and that's brought Thorsten Seifert directly. Yep, and Misha's got to serve a slowdown. It's brought Thorsten Seifert directly into a battle with Misha Berger. Misha Berger had no choice but to serve that slowdown and let him by. And what that's doing, though, is bringing Ariel Julian even closer to the two of them. So this just got real extra spicy. Coming around that corner onto the back straight. Let's see if there's any more slowdowns to serve. Uh, it's not easy to avoid that one. You just go a little bit up on that curb and boom, you got a 2 or 3 second slowdown. It's not pretty. It's pretty gruesome, to be honest. Oh, Thorsten and Misha pushing that boundary. I don't know if they're both gonna have one or not. That's pretty close, I gotta say. I don't see either of them slowing up just yet. Oh, Thorsten is slowing up. Called that one out. Thorsten's gonna have to give up a position, serve that slowdown, and this may be a battle of the slowdowns. Misha didn't get one, so fortunately he's still ahead. He's gained a position just by being patient, staying on the track. And there's Thorsten. He may still be serving that slowdown. Now it's brought Ariel Julian directly into this mix for a battle on P4. It's given Misha Berger a slight chance to start breaking away. The pressure that Ariel is applying is definitely going to help Berger up front there. So let's see. Ariel Julian has closed that gap. He's going to get a chance coming around this corner onto the straight to close that gap even further and start thinking about, should I make a pass? Should I not? When am I going to make that pass? How aggressive or passive to go? We're going to have to see. And of course, that's given Misha Berger that chance to start breaking away. He's now created quite a gap. I don't think anyone's gotten a slowdown on this time round. Nope, no slowdowns this time round. We got Ariel Julian's closing the gap even more. Let's see if anyone's going to lock their tires under braking. No locked tires, all good, all clean. There's that apex. There's the exit. And Thorsten, I think, got the best of that one. And he had an excellent exit out of turn 2. Wow, what a sequence of corners for Mr. Seifert. And that's what happens when you focus on your exits, kids. Right there. Seifert's putting that to work. Focus on the exits, you start pulling away. That is absolutely beautiful driving from Thorsten Seifert. And he's actually now closed the gap just a little bit, reeled in the Misha Berger, the Burgermeister, just slightly with all of that. But Ariel Julian, of course, not done yet. He's still right there. You know what? This is going to get real spicy. No slowdowns no slowdowns there, it looks like. I think every one of them is okay. At this point, they may be driving a little bit slower through that chicane just to avoid it, because the slowdown you get from trying to push that boundary, it's absolutely brutal, as we've already seen. It's race changing when you get something like that. we're gonna head up to Jurgen Frank, just see how he's doing. It looks like he's doing pretty damn good up here. He's broken away from the hammer. It's hammer time, no more. It's Frank time now. Not far behind is, of course, our hammer. 3.5 seconds back, with still a very great drive from Philip Hammer. And we've got not far behind is Benza Cypher, 7.5 seconds back, and that gap can close pretty quickly with just one tiny error or one slowdown off of that chicane, of course. As we've seen in the past, Benza is up 3 positions from where he ended. Oh, just getting a little bit wild coming out of that corner. So he's up 3 positions from where he finished in that sprint race and where he started on the grid. And he's now claiming our final podium position. Excellent, excellent drive from Mr. Cypher. I remember when he first started in our league, and it was Road Atlanta and Hockenheim, and the, it was sort of funny. The wrecks that Benza created by going off the track or not holding the brakes and so on. And he's such a very, very caring guy, and I don't think he liked that. And he's totally taken all those incidents to heart and improved to the driver that we see now. Excellent driver, just getting faster and faster every single week. Racecraft improving every single week as well. What just the complete package of driver here in Benza Cypher. I can't wait to see what happens with him next season and how that goes and all that he gains going forward. We've got a battle here for P5 with Thorsten Seifert. Oh, a little bit of a bump. Little bit of a bump from Ariel Julian. That's very unfortunate. Thorsten Seifert going off the track. Ariel tried to give the position back. He may still give that spot back. We're going to have to see. Um, but here comes Thorsten Seifert with minimal. It doesn't look like he has any damage, fortunately, so that's not too bad. Uh, Hopefully didn't get a slowdown off of that chicane. And here we go, Ariel Julian, and this is why you league race, folks, right here. And that is sportsmanship to the top level. Ariel Julian giving that position back to Thorsten Seifert as a way to say sorry for bumping you off of the track. That's given Gordon Ramsay the space to get up to P5, and that is why you never give up. Even if you eat shit in your first lap, just as Gordon Ramsay did, never give up because you have no idea what can happen. As you can see, a whole bunch of drivers have made mistakes, things have happened, and it's brought Gordon right back up into P5, giving him a decent amount of points for this race in his season standings run. There we go. We're going to see Thorsten Seifert and Ariel Julian battle at it again. And coming down that back straight, we're going to see. Looks like Ariel's going to be closing the gap. Let's see if anyone gets a slowdown. Crossing my fingers for both drivers, no slowdown, or maybe I should be saying go get one. Looks like Ariel's getting real close to that slowdown. I don't think he got one, fortunately, but that's definitely pushing his luck. But all is good, it looks like, coming down our start-finish straight. Ariel's not quite close enough to make that lunge. After what happened earlier this race, making that lunge and losing a lot of positions, I don't expect Ariel to do that one again. Thorsten Seifert playing a little bit of games there, it looks like, opening that door and then closing it just before he steps through. This has become quite an interesting battle here between these two, I gotta say. Thorsten Seifert, of course, thinking about the exits on the corner, and Ariel directly behind thinking about making that pass, getting that overlap. Thorsten Seifert's locking up that brakes, bringing Ariel real close. I gotta wonder how Thorsten Seifert's tires are doing right about now after these lockups. Ariel's closer than he's ever been, um, if you don't count the fender bender from earlier. Closer than he's ever been. Here we go, heading into that chicane. It looks like he's going to tuck in behind and think about making a pass later down the road. Oh, and that's definitely one tough chicane to get right, I gotta say. Heading down the start-finish straight. I don't think Ariel's quite close enough, but we're going to follow along and see if he can get right up there. Thorsten choosing not to defend that inside. Ariel making that desperate dive. Does he make it work? I don't know if he does. Oh, and this is just a drag race to the next corner to see who can get there first. And Thorsten Seifert is still up ahead. That was a great attempt from Ariel Julian, but not quite able to make it work. Thorsten Seifert's now holding on for his dear life for this sixth position to hold off Ariel Julian. And it's not a bad move, to be honest, to let the driver have that inside desperate dive heading into turn one, because it's very rare that they can make the pass off of that. The outside driver is going to have a much better exit, and the next corner being a left is always a huge advantage as well. Oh, Ariel Julian overcooking his rear tires just enough to allow Thorsten Seifert to get away, basically. But we're going to have to see if he can get back to him or not. We got Jurgen Frank up in that lead. We got, looks like about a minute and a half left in our race. Philip Hammer is about 5 seconds back from our leader. We got Benza Cypher, of course, not far back from the Hammer. Just enough to relieve all of that tension and pressure, of course, off of those front two drivers. Quite a bit further back is Misha Berger. This is becoming a little bit of an endurance race at this point with how these guys have spread out quite a bit. And it's just a battle of the mind at this point. You're driving this car to get to that end without losing any of these positions. All for that's the case for all drivers, of course, except these two, Thorsten and Ariel. I'm gonna just take a quick look at how Chuck is doing. Chuck is unfortunately quite far behind. I believe I remember some spins earlier, and it's put him quite far back, breaking, locking brakes and stuff. Alexander Wilford's still going. Absolute trooper, and that's what we love to see once again. You don't ever learn when you give up. If you keep it going, it's eventually going to click. So here we go. We're heading on to our final lap. We got 21 laps currently completed, heading on to our 22nd lap. We got Jurgen Frank is almost done that lap, it looks like. Wow. Ariel Julian not able to make that dive up the middle, but he's still right there, able to challenge. But I don't think he got a good run out of that final corner, or out of that first corner. So he's able to catch up to Mr. Seifert, just not able to make that pass and find a way by him. So are we going to see a move into that final chicane or not? I can't wait to find out. But first, I gotta go take a look at Jurgen Frank coming across the start-finish line as the winner of our race. Congratulations, Jurgen Frank. Philip Hammer coming across. Benza coming across shortly, but I gotta watch this before I start calling out. Oh, and Ariel Julian has gone wide, and he's lost his chance. He's basically just lost his chance. Benza Cypher coming across in P3. We see now Misha Berger. Oh, he's clearing a slowdown. Clearing a slowdown. That's very smart of Misha Berger to close and clear that slowdown before the start finish line. It's a large, large penalty if you don't. We've got then Gordon Ramsay. Oh, and post-race celebrations. There's that happy face. Just there you go. Bumper cars, baby. Thorsten Seifert coming in P6. Ariel Julian not able to make that pass and ending up in P7. I believe got Chuck Baker. Is Chuck Baker still running? I think he is. Chuck Baker is now coming around that final turn. Coming around that final turn, coming across that finish line, up one position in P8. And we've got the likes of Alexander Wilfert coming across in, unfortunately, last, down two positions. But such a great effort just to get out there and finish. And his car looks like it's okay, not damaged, no walls. So that's a huge, huge, huge plus. And he crashes? I don't think. Okay, so he's going to take it easy. So let's take a look at our final results. Of course, Jurgen Frank, congratulations. P1, Philip Hammer, and P2. So we finally found a solution for the hammer. It's hammer time no more. And we got Gordon Ramsay. Oh, Misha Berger was not able to clear that slowdown in time. That's, oh wait, no, this is our heat race. I fooled myself. Look at that. I fooled myself. Well, of course, the first two positions were the same. Gordon, Benza Cypher did actually get that final podium position. Misha Berger in P3, Gordon Ramsay in P5, Thorsten Seifert, P6, Ariel Julian in P7, Chuck Baker P8, and Alexander Wilfert in P9. Well, that was our race. I hope you all enjoyed it. Someone beat the hammer. Yes, they did. Hope you all enjoyed it. If you liked our race, if you like our league, please use your Amazon Prime and support the league by subscribing, using your free subscription from Amazon Prime to subscribe to our PCC channel. It helps support our league. It'll help pay for the prizes that everyone's going to be receiving at the end of every season, the sessions, and so on. Every little bit counts, every little bit helps. And yeah, I can't wait to see you guys next week. And have a good night, guys.